That's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shank. He decided to re-tee. That's a shank. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Two-Way Miss podcast. Thank you very much for joining us whenever and wherever you might be watching or listening to the podcast. We appreciate you very much. I am Chris Regz Regensburg, your host, and I'm, as always, joined by the good buddy Banksy, coming off a busy couple weeks of being a golf coach and dad, driving to practices and getting into this. Like, you really adulted for the last 2 weeks. I don't know how you really feel about it. I don't know if you're too happy about it, but
I'm exhausted. I'm tired.
yep, that sounds about right. I'm not going to say that I'm not just kind of smiling a little bit, having been so many years with all these children and you kind of getting away with it for so long, that I'm a little bit like happy that you're kind of exhausted doing all this stuff. But also, you know, of course, I've missed talking to you, missed talking to the people, but we're going to talk a little President's Cup. We're going to have some fun. There's been a good competition going on that I think it'll be fun to get into.
Yeah, it got good pretty quick here. Where we're rolling into tomorrow. Where who knows what's going to happen?
I mean, the internationals won the day 5-3, which I don't think a lot of people saw coming. So we'll get into sort of what that means, and knowing that for a lot of our listeners, this might be kind of maybe their first President's Cup they're paying attention to. So we're going to go into what the President's Cup is. Of course, we're going to talk Tiger in the President's Cup because he has had some badass moments in the President's Cup, which we are going to talk about because we're not going to miss an opportunity to talk about El Tigre. And then we're going to run through kind of what's happened already and then talk through the singles matches that are happening tomorrow. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. So let's get into just what the President's Cup is. Now, even if you're just getting into golf, you've probably heard of the Ryder Cup, which is the huge team competition, the USA versus Europe and Great Britain and Ireland. It's on par, like it's done every 2 years on par with, like, you know, it's not as big as the Olympics or, you know, the World Cup, but it's the biggest competition probably outside of the majors that golf puts on every 2 years.
Without a prize purse.
Right. There's no money.
Playing for the love of the game and,
That's right.
And pride for your country.
Yeah. So it's a ton of fun because of the passion that goes into it. The guys get fired up. The crowds are nuts. It's great watching these guys go back and forth at each other. You always get just some phenomenal golf that happens. So the Ryder Cup is kind of its own thing unto itself. But because it is only Europe and Great Britain and Ireland, it leaves a significant portion of the sort of international golf world out. So a guy like Hideki Matsuyama, despite being a top player for what 10 years, has never played in a Ryder Cup.
Adam Scott,
an Australian, never played in a Ryder Cup. Just think of Ernie. Did Ernie Els? No, Ernie, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
South African. Just think of that.
Els.
Ernie Els, literally the second best player we've seen, you know, next to Tiger, like was second only to Tiger during his time. Never played in, you know, the biggest event that golf has.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting twist that the President's Cup, which for context was created by the PGA Tour, so it's just a way for them to make a lot of money. It's really all it comes down to, because they don't run the Ryder Cup. PGA of America, which if you didn't know is a different entity than the PGA Tour. The PGA of America runs the Ryder Cup, and the PGA Tour runs the President's Cup. Confused yet? Good. We're going to keep going. So the President's Cup is the sort of rest of the world versus the U.S. And so you see players from, you know, Korea, Japan, China, South Africa, Australia, you know, South America. This is the chance for all those players to play in this sort of team-based competition. And for the international core, it really is their only chance at a competition like this. For the U.S., it's really used as a building block towards these players playing in Ryder Cups. It's almost like your tryout for a Ryder Cup team. So for a lot of guys, it's a really big deal to either automatically qualify or be chosen as a captain's pick. The U.S. has dominated this competition as opposed to the Ryder Cup, where it seems to go back and forth every year. The U.S. has completely demolished the international team for a very long time.
Only President's Cup win for the international team was, I think, 1998. I saw.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
and a tie. They have a tie on their belt.
They have a tie. Okay.
The epic Tiger Ernie playoff.
Yeah. So everybody's a loser then, right? There's no winner,
I guess.
or is it the other way around?
I think they called them both winners. Is I think how they played it off. But we can think of it however we want. I
can never keep track of what's what anymore.
That's okay. So the U.S. has just dominated this competition for a very long time. Tiger, as you would imagine, carried these teams from a popularity standpoint for his entire playing career. Where Tiger, when you kind of look back at it, wasn't the best Ryder Cup player. In the President's Cup, he's an absolute monster.
Yeah, a lot of club twirls.
A lot of walking after the ball when it's halfway through its apex and walking in a lot of putts. So, I mean, from a popularity standpoint, Tiger Woods, was the needle for this thing. And he played in a lot of them. And obviously when you get him to go up against Ernie Els, it's a big deal for the golf world, especially back in the 90s and the early 2000s. But, despite that, like you said, the internationals have maybe won once in the past 30 years and tied another one. So I think it's fun from an audience standpoint because we get to see team golf. We get a look at usually some new U.S. players that we haven't seen on Ryder Cups. A lot of young guys who they're sort of given a shot to see, okay, how do they do in this format? Can they handle it's not the same pressure as a Ryder Cup because the crowds at a Ryder Cup are just nuts. But can they handle the pressure of being on the first tee and, being in this team format and all those things? So, I mean, I still enjoy watching it. I'm sure you do too. Despite it not being, close all the time, it still provides great moments, which we'll talk about some from this year. But, it still provides those dramatic moments that only sort of team golf and match play can bring out.
Yeah, it's just such a different dynamic getting to watch these guys play in a team format. And, because they have some team formats on the PGA Tour, but your top guys don't show up for those, right? Like this is the only opportunity you have to see top players in the world competing as a team. And it's neat to watch. So any opportunity you get to see that, I think it's worthwhile watching. And it's kind of surprising that the international team has such a difficult time. I mean, there's a lot of good players, but for whatever reason, President's Cup has just always been.
I think it's always that they're just top heavy. There's always 2 or 3 guys that are just absolute studs. But when you start to get into numbers 4 through 10, or 4 through 12, that's where it kind of, falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
You always have the stud. Like I said, Hideki has been a fantastic player for a very long time. Adam Scott has been a fantastic player for a very long time. And then every year there's always, some other international, think Goose, like Retief and Ernie as a pairing is a crazy good pairing in the early 2000s.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, what's the format? I think, did they start with alternate shot on Thursday?
Yep. So it's a very similar setup to the Ryder Cup where it goes, alternate shot on Thursday. Friday is they do it a little bit differently. They do the morning is alternate shot. The afternoon is 4-ball, so just, best ball. Then again, morning is alternate shot. Afternoon is best ball. So that's how it's set up. And then Sundays are just singles matches, mano y mano.
One on one.
That's right.
And we have a little excitement for tomorrow.
Yeah.
The international teams kind of crept their way back into the mix here, and
so just a small plug again for another YouTube deep dive if you ever want to just have, some fun wasting a half hour. Just search Tiger Woods President's Cup on YouTube and just enjoy the club twirls and the walking after the ball and the fist pumps. You'll thank us later, but go check that out. Come back, let us know how it was.
So that was the last one, right? And especially, he was the player captain.
Right. Yep. Down in Royal Melbourne in Australia. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely worth your while.
It's worth a good 15, 20 minutes of just jumping around YouTube.
Yeah. It'll get you ramped up for the singles matches tomorrow.
Yeah. It's a great time. And again, I think the thing that at least I enjoy, is that it's just a chance to watch these guys in a different format. And it always brings out great shots, emotion from these guys. So it's just good to see them be like people. It's good to see them be amped up about something.
Playing to the crowds a little bit.
Yeah.
Talking to the crowd.
Sure.
Getting them amped up. Who's, again, you alluded to in the beginning of the show, I've been, adulting the last couple weeks. And unfortunately, I haven't even been able to see much of the action. Who's playing well?
So let's run through the teams.
Sticking out. Like what's going on? Give me some play-by-play.
Let's run through the teams and we'll talk about who's sticking out. So we'll start international first. So Hideki Matsuyama, Sung J.M., Tom Kim, Corey Connors, Mito Pereira, Adam Scott, Taylor Pendrith, Sebastian Munoz, Siwoo Kim, Cam Davis, Christian Bezadenhout, and KH Lee. So just off the top, Sung J.M. and Tom Kim are taking over this tournament. Tom Kim is like the next international superstar. He sunk a 20-footer on 18 today to win their match. Went absolutely nuts.
Did he?
Yep. Eagled the same hold like in the morning and the afternoon on like very similar putts, again in a big situation to win the hole. He is the guy of this team.
Okay.
And it's been great to watch. He's an American-born, person of like Korean descent. So he plays, for Korea. But he was born in America. He speaks perfect English, no accent or anything like that. So his emotions and his interviews, like you get to feel that much more connected to him because,
And what's his story? Where is he in college?
He's young.
Did he go to college?
Yeah. He just came up through, I believe, the Corn Ferry. And is still very young, like 22, 23.
Okay.
No like PGA Tour wins or anything like that. Has been playing better as of late, but has just turned into a
Superstar.
monster. He's literally going to come out of this like 500K followers on Twitter and Instagram up, because just to put it in perspective.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, of course. Maybe he'll be on the PIP list or something like that. We'll see. Hideki is still playing, solid. Sung Jae is just firing at flags. Every flag that guy sees, he is just firing at it.
He's a birdie machine, man.
It's fun.
He plays golf every single day.
Yep. It's fun to watch.
His life. Yeah.
Everyone else is just kind of eh.
Right. But you would think those guys would like charge the momentum. Some of those guys that have been there before.
Oh,
like
they are absolutely like feeding off of Tom Kim. They are feeding off of him. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
I love Immelman as the captain too. Like that dude just seems like a good dude. I'd play for him as a coach.
He's been great. Again, another, we plug him every time we talk about this, but No Laying Up had a good half-hour long interview with him the other day on Thursday before the matches started. So yeah, again, they go into his sort of coaching philosophy, what he learned from playing in a lot of these, what he learned from like Ernie being a captain and them being close, both being South African. It's a good interview. And yeah,
Nice.
he's definitely like saying all the right things, and like he's like, look, are we as talented as the Americans? No, but does that mean we like are gonna try any less? He's like, hell no. Like we can still like what happens? Like the worst we can do is shock the entire world by winning this thing. He's like, other than that, no one expected us to win, so who cares? It's a good interview, and I think you're right. He's been doing a really good job as a captain. But I'd say from an international team standpoint, Kim and Sungjae they're just so much fun to watch.
Just lighting up and
So much fun to watch.
running off adrenaline and just hitting bombs and sinking putts.
Yeah, it's been great.
Nice.
So the USA roster, Patrick Cantlay, Sam Burns, Justin Thomas, Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Tony Finau, Cameron Young, Billy Horschel, Colin Morikawa, Kevin Kisner, Jordan Spieth, Max Homa. Homa is the standout so far. It's his first team competition, coming off another win just like a week ago.
My.
I know Willett kind of gave it to him, but he hit that chip shot on 18 to put the pressure on him.
And the pressure he did put on him. Holy
Listen,
smokes.
Danny Willett hasn't been in the light in a long time. It was bright when he stepped back in it. It was bright for Mr. Willett when he stepped back into it. Thomas and Spieth have been an unbeatable pair. They're 4-0 through 2 days. So they're just not losing. Cantlay and Schauffele have been the pair together. They kind of blew it today. They've won every other match up until today. Morikawa has been really good, but like Tony has not been great. Scotty's not playing like the Masters winner. Sam Burns, you can tell it's his first kind of go at this. Cam Young hits the shit out of the ball, like so far, and he swings so hard. But like,
how's Horschel playing?
Just okay. Like I think he tomahawked a club the other day. Like he literally tomahawked a club.
Perfect.
So he's been doing Horschel things, of course.
He's a head case. He's a head case.
He's a nutcase for sure. So, I mean, a good mix of like, again, it's Horschel's first team competition as well. So it's an interesting mix of guys, especially with DJ being gone, Bryson being gone. Patrick Reed wasn't making any of these teams anyway. Koepka. So I think they've, Cameron Young is going to be he's going to make Ryder Cup teams. He's going to make these President Cups teams. He's a really, really good player. Homa is going to make a lot of these teams going forward. He's proven that he can play in these situations. And might be playing the best golf of his entire life, to be quite honest. Coming off a win, just last week, which was his third of the year, which is nuts.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's how Scheffler got started.
That's right.
You put all these wins into one.
Yep.
You get one, you get one hot streak of golf and you just ride it out as long as you can.
Right.
Who knows? Scheffler may never win again.
He might not. He's not playing like the stud he was early.
Yeah. We see these guys all the time. They go through these incredible runs and then they're just, whatever.
Yeah.
So good for him. I'm glad he's playing well. He's your guy, right?
I do like him a lot. Yeah.
He's your guy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great to see him. Like again, he sunk a putt on 18 the other day to win and just went nuts. Like it's just fun when that stuff happens. All right, so
I'm seeing a lot of pictures with very large men without their shirts on.
Yeah, that's going to happen
in the crowds. Is that part of the tournament now?
It's North Carolina, so you really can't, despite there being unbelievable mansions like off of every fairway and green, and they're having their little summer parties with their like little, the women all have those pastel dresses on like they're in the 1950s, There's also going to be, really fat guys with the shirts off in the background,
with their shirts off in the back. I don't know. Have I seen that before? I guess it's been there before, but like these are These are some really fat guys.
Yeah, you know,
So, all right.
the pandemic hit a lot of people hard.
Moving on. Yeah, it's still my COVID weight.
Yep,
Yeah. All
that's
right.
right.
Moving on. That's enough about big
All
fat
right.
white guys.
Let's run through the first couple days and how the matches went. So, starting off, like you said, alternate shot. We had Scott and Matsuyama versus Cantlay and Shoffley. Shoffley, they smoked him 6-5. Just absolutely destroyed him. So again,
That's good.
That's
Shoffley was what? 0-2?
Yeah.
0-2 in his career?
That's
in present
Immelman.
stuff,
That's
so-
Immelman putting his big veterans together, trying to get a win right out the gate, and they just got smoked.
got hosed. Yeah.
Next one, Spieth and Thomas against Im and Connors, 2-1. So again, a closer match. Next was Cam Young and Colin Morikawa against Tom Kim and KH Lee. Young and Morikawa won that 2-1. Siwoo Kim and Cam Davis beat Scheffler and Sam Burns by 2. And then Pendrith and Pereira versus Finau and Homa. Finau and Homa won that one up. Then you go into the afternoon. The pairings get switched up a little bit from the international side. So Adam Scott, Cam Davis lose 2-1 to Spieth and Thomas. Again, Spieth and Thomas go 2-0. Sungjae Im and Sebastian Munoz, they actually tie Scheffler and Burns. Pereira and Bezadenhout tie Kisner and Cam Young. Hideki and Tom Kim lose to Cantlay and Shoffley. Again, 3-2. Like have been on fire. The first day they were just on fire. Connors and Pendrith lose one down to Horschel and Homa. That's where Homa hit the huge putt on 18 to win the match. That one was like tied most of the way through, so that was a close one that came down to the wire. To start day 2, like I said, back to alternate shot after the 4-ball in the afternoon. Sungjae Im and Connors lose 4-3 to Spieth and Thomas. They've just been rolling this whole time. And then Scott and Hideki are back again, beat Cam Young and Morikawa 3-2. The first, really good win for them. KH Lee and Tom Kim beat Scheffler and Sam Burns 2-1. And then Siwoo Kim and Cam Davis lose 4-3 to Finau and Homa. They were just, Homa was coming off that huge putt. They were just feeling it after that. That one wasn't really close. And then in the afternoon, just today, it all kind of changed. So at that point, the U.S. is up 10-4 going into the afternoon. Siwoo Kim and Tom Kim beat Cantlay and Shoffley. Again, Kim sinks a 20-footer on 18 to win the match. Really great. Like, goes bonkers. Really fun. Matsuyama and Pendrith lose to Thomas and Spieth 4-3. Again, that team just has been rolling for 2 days straight. Sungjae Im and Sebastian Munoz beat Finau and Kisner 3-2. And then Adam Scott and Cam Davis beat Horschel and Sam Burns 1-up. They were down 3, I think, at one point in this match. Scott and Davis brought it back to win that. So you end the day 11-7, which a lot of people were not seeing it being that close going into singles today. So I think the international team showed a lot of spunk today.
What would be a really interesting dynamic for these events if you couldn't play guys together more than...
If you had to switch it up every time?
Yeah, you needed a different pairing each time. So you put out Spieth and Thomas day 1.
You'd have to be really strategic with when you did that.
Like, that's it then. Like, that would be
wild.
That would be a crazy dynamic instead of letting Spieth and Thomas roll through these first 3 days. Like, hey guys, you played together already. I gotta switch it up.
Or I'm not playing you until the afternoon of day 2, when I think we'll really need a point.
Yeah, like let's put a Spieth and a Billy Horschel together on an alternate shot,
just for fun. Like, let's just see what happens. Just chaos.
Yeah, and see who freaks out first.
That's hilarious. That's so funny. That would be fantastic entertainment.
That'd be crazy, right?
Yeah, it would be hilarious. It's a great idea. I love it. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do that.
Put it in the suggestion box.
Yep. Let's do it. All right. So singles matches. Let's run through these and sort of after each one, we'll say who we think is going to win.
Yeah, let's make our picks because
Yeah.
we're so good at this.
I mean, obviously you should follow this and bet everything we talk about.
Yeah.
You know, you're welcome. So starting off 12:02 p.m. Siwoo Kim versus Justin Thomas. I mean, I think Thomas wins.
Man, it's gonna be like a birdie barrage.
Yeah. Siwoo's just playing okay.
He's doing okay.
And Justin like isn't playing fantastic, but like
he hasn't played well all year. Like it's not like a lot of these American they're not coming in
other than
Homa.
Homa, who's coming in just
on
fire.
All right. So Siwoo, so I got who am I mixing Siwoo Kim up with?
Tom Kim.
No, I got yeah. All right. So you're going Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll go JT. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll go JT.
All right. You're a generous man.
He's gonna get the crowd into it.
Yeah. Going off first.
Yeah.
Cam Davis versus Jordan Spieth. Next match. I just don't know if Cam Davis is going to be ready for playing one-on-one against Jordan Spieth. Spieth is not playing good. Let's just put that out there.
Spieth will get in his own way. That's the issue. Like, who can stop Jordan Spieth? Jordan Spieth can stop Jordan Spieth.
I'm going to take Jordan Spieth just because he's been in more of these situations. But if Cam Davis won, I would not be surprised.
Yeah. And I'd make Spieth put everything out.
Oh yeah, everything. Like if it's
everything.
Even if it's within a putter grip. Like nope, sorry, Jordan.
Yeah, I want to see you grind over that 18-incher.
Yep. All right, who are you picking?
I'll go Cam Davis. I'll change it up a little bit. You always just feel like Spieth is just like
he is. He's just all over the place,
teetering on the edge of
oblivion
of an 85 or something.
All right, next one: Matsuyama versus Sam Burns. I'm gonna give this to Hideki.
Hideki,
yeah. Next one: Adam Scott versus Cantlay. Cantlay's been playing really well.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to give it to Cantlay. I don't think Scott is going to be able to putt well enough.
And Cantlay can putt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cantlay can putt, and Adam Scott can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a Cantlay.
All right.
Next, Sebastian Munoz versus Scotty Scheffler. I mean, you would think Scotty would win this easily if you just think about Scotty Scheffler the year he's had.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the one I have no idea.
Is it a concentration thing? It's like Scheffler's mind, is his head in the game?
I just don't think Munoz is very good. Like, if we're going to be honest about it, like, he's not a better golfer than Scotty Scheffler. He's just not.
Do they play with handicaps?
Maybe. I'll ask.
Anybody get any strokes out there?
Yeah, I'll send Max a text and see if they're playing strokes tomorrow.
That's a.
I mean,
4 for
again,
3.
I think you say Scheffler, but it's going to be close. I bet. I don't think Scheffler runs away with it. Like, he did beat John Rahm in the Ryder Cup.
And I hope that's what Davis Love is talking to him about. Go back and watch that match.
Yeah.
Next,
we'll go Taylor Pendrith versus Tony Finau.
Is that the dude that blew the 2-shot lead at the PGA? Is that the guy that hit it in the water? He's on the team somewhere. I don't know if that's him or not.
I have no that's Pereira. That's Mito.
Oh, Mito. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is one where you would say Tony. Like, he's won 3 times this year. Like, again, I have no idea. Tony has not been playing great.
Yeah, and I Tony bothers me because he's one of those guys that should be trying to win every week with his talent and athleticism.
Yeah.
But I don't even know who that other person is, so I'll give Tony the benefit of the doubt. Let's see if he can get it done. I guess they could always have. too.
They could tie. We'll call it a tie.
We'll call it a tie.
I'm going to say they
All
tie
right.
that one.
Perfect.
All right, next one. Corey Connors versus Xander. Xander. Xander's actually been playing pretty well.
Oh, man, can I just go against Xander because I don't.
Sure,
like
why
him.
not? What?
right.
What's stopping you?
Corey. I'll
Corey
go
Connors.
Corey
It is.
The Canadian.
I like it. Next one. Sung Jae versus Cameron Young. I'm taking Sung Jae.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Sung Jae.
That's
the
dude.
guy
He's
that
just
plays
five.
there.
Yeah, he plays 52 weeks out of
he,
52
like
weeks.
he's gonna. Yeah, he's gonna crush it. He's
gonna out ball strike Cameron Young. Cameron Young is gonna blow it 30 yards past him every time, and
Right.
Sung Jae is just gonna out ball strike him because he's gonna fire at every flag.
every bit. Yeah, Sanjay, I'm 100% is
Yeah.
taking that match.
Yeah. Yep. Totally there. KH Lee versus Billy Horschel. I just think KH because Billy can't control himself. Billy might not have a putter by the end of the match.
I would talk so much shit
Yeah.
to Billy during the round.
Like he hits a bad. He
I
hits
like
a
talk
bad
to his
shot.
ball.
Like as you're walking down the thing, he's like, "What'd you hit there?" You know, like, "What'd you go with there, Bill?"
Yeah, I'd be talking to his ball the whole time.
Yeah. Walk off the tee. Bill, did you feel that wind? Like, I don't know what happened. Just get in his head. That'd be great.
Billy.
I'm taking KH
Billy.
Lee just because I don't think Billy can control
No,
himself.
Billy's gonna. Yeah,
Yeah. This is
right,
the next one's the match of the day. Tom Kim versus Max Homa. This one's going to be fucking awesome. It's just going to be the best. It's going to be the best one. It might not matter at all because the Americans probably win it by this point.
But if it does matter,
it's going to be
huge.
insane.
It's gonna be huge, man.
I can't go against my boy Max.
Oh no, I am.
I love Tom Kim, but I'm going with my boy Max.
All right, Tom Kim, you and me,
This
buddy.
is the one. We're putting $5 on this.
Done. TK, here we
There you
go.
go.
Let's do it.
$5 on the Tom Kim Max Homa match. Next, Mito Pereira versus Colin Morikawa. Mito's not playing great, if I'm going to be honest. Morikawa looks kind of like he's finally striking his irons like he should.
He's hitting off the side of the club face again.
Just with that perfect little 3-yard fade.
Yeah. All right. Morikawa.
Yeah. And then last match of the day, Christian Bezadenhout against Kevin Kisner. Tie. I don't know. Don't know, don't care.
Hopefully it's over by then.
Don't know, don't care. Maybe they just shake hands on the 16 and just say, "Good job, guys." Like you can go home now.
Yeah. Is there any football games on tomorrow? Right. Kisner might not even want to play.
Yeah.
He might have a game to watch.
That one is not going to matter either way.
Yeah. I could.
So there you go. If you bet those, you'll win some money. So, good job out there, everybody. Thanks for listening to us as always. If you want to do really well, just go opposite of everything that we've said. And I'm sure you'll do great. You do great. I think ultimately, the USA, wins it. I don't know when. If you just kind of go through it and tally up their points, we give they need 4.5 to win. So you give 1 to Thomas. You give at least a half to Spieth, right? Even if he's not playing great, he'll probably at least tie the guy. So let's just go worst case scenario and let's just see what happens.
Well, based on our picks, when do they win? What match?
So let's see. We both thought Thomas would win, right?
So that's 1.
We both think Spieth will win. That's 2. Okay. We think Burns loses. So still on 2. We think Cantlay beats Scott, so that's 3. Scheffler Munoz tie, half a point.
There's your half.
3.5. Tony probably loses, right? So leave it out there. Xander probably wins. So there's your 4.5, right?
Okay.
So by the end of the Connors Schauffele match.
Okay. Could be all set. Okay.
Could be all set.
Schauffele has a hard time closing tournaments. He his butthole gets a little tight.
Yeah.
Towards the tough time closing tournaments. We'll see. But
Yeah,
it's always
it'll be
fun to
interesting.
watch. Crowds.
I would love for it to just turn the internationals way and have it come down to like the Kim Homa match.
Yeah.
Like we just have that happen just for fun, like just for entertainment's sake. It'd be fantastic.
So yeah, and that'll wrap up the President's Cup, and then what? We just look forward to seeing who's coming out of there playing well as we go into the off season, and see if anybody can carry that over and when the PGA Tour picks up again.
Yeah, so this is the off season.
And Davis Love, how many times has he been captain? I feel like he's captain every President's Cup. He's the captain. Nobody else wants to do it, or what?
I mean, I just think like they can't make him Ryder Cup captain again, which I think they would do. So I think Freddie was the President's Cup captain too many times, so they had to go with someone else. And Tiger, got hurt, so he couldn't do it again.
Freddie and Michael Jordan.
Yeah, right.
Coach and assistant coach too many times.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder why Tiger's not there. I wonder what he's doing.
I mean,
I think he shows like. I mean, I know he's not coming, and I know he made a statement that sorry, I can't be there, whatever. So I wonder
he's working on his Monday Night Golf stuff,
Right.
Him and Rory did like a video about the President's Cup, like that Rory has never played in. Which, it was just mostly Tiger talking about it, but that whatever it's called, TGL or whatever they're calling their little venture, put that video out. Yeah, they got to get Monday Night Golf right, man. So that's what they're working on.
Okay, all right, good enough.
I think
he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it'll be a lot of fun. I think it'll be great. Hopefully it stays close, and hopefully it comes down to like one of those late afternoon matches, and it just makes it more fun. It makes it more entertaining.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would listen, we can, as we're wrapping up a little bit, listen, the international team got devastated when the live announcements over the past month came out. Cam Smith would have been on this team. Why am I blanking on his name? The other South American guy.
Leishman. No, not Leishman.
Leishman did go, but I don't think he would have made the team.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, why can't I think of his name? He hits the driver stingers.
Driver stingers.
Oh my God. What is happening with my brain?
It's live golf, man. You've completely tuned out to anything
already.
Live.
It was that quick.
You refuse to even acknowledge.
Yep. Joaquin Neiman. There he is. Thank you.
Oh, that he's okay.
He would have been on the team. Anirban Lahiri probably would have been on the team. I mean, so there's probably 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
Who would have been on this team who were all in the top 50 in the world, So again, guys are getting the chance to play and step up, but like if you have Cam Smith and Sebastian Munoz at least on this roster, like those Sunday matches are different. All those matches these other days are different.
When's the live versus PGA Tour
version of the President's Cup happening?
Version, we're gonna get some prize money in here.
I think as long as the PGA Tour runs the President's Cup, that's not happening.
Just a separate PGA Tour versus live tour.
Yeah, I don't know.
$1 billion.
Yeah. It'll be for like a WWE style belt, like the world championship.
Yeah, made out of solid gold and diamonds and rubies
and dripping in Saudi oil.
Whatever else Saudis have. Yeah. Free gas for a year.
Gas cards, yeah. It's a lot of Wawa gift cards.
That's right, baby.
Maybe someday when live isn't boring as hell to watch because none of it matters.
None of it matters, yeah. Nobody cares. But
so I think if you've never watched the President's Cup before, hopefully you've caught a little bit of the action. If not, I strongly encourage you to catch the singles matches. They're always a ton of fun. Like 1v1 match play in these situations is always a great time. It'll lead to some really good, like, it's just always really good golf. Like, guys step it up for this, and they try and play their best.
Yeah, and it's not stroke play, so these guys can really go after flags, really, try and make a lot of birdies because it's all match play. It only counts for
One, it doesn't matter if you lose by 6 or 1; it makes no difference.
Yeah, so that'll be neat. It'll be fun tomorrow. Weather is pretty much perfect. I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's no rough out on the golf course. So let's just get a lot of birdies and let's have some fun.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. We strongly encourage you to take a look. If you do bet on any of our picks, let us know how it goes. We'd love to hear how you're all doing out there.
Just don't get up.
No, we take no responsibility.
Yeah, no hate mail.
For whatever picks you make, that is your decision. We can only offer our opinions as non-professionals. So that's what we do because it's fun. And it seems to be a lot of fun when all our opposite picks come true. So we'll just keep that going for a long time. All right, buddy. Again, good to be back with you. Good to be talking to the people again. Thanks everyone for hanging with us.
I always love and can appreciate when you get that text or you see somebody and they're like, "Hey, when's your next episode coming out?"
Yeah.
Like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's still cool. I mean, our last YouTube video went nuts. We hit some crazy YouTube algorithm. We're over 50 plus views on that, so that's crazy. If you do enjoy watching the YouTube videos, please click that subscribe button. We're on our way to 25. We're 3 off. We're at 22. So 3 more subscribers with that quarter century mark. That'd be a really big, a big deal for us over here. Just continue to grab the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, wherever there is a podcast platform, we are on it. So
and while you're on YouTube, subscribing to our channel and liking all of our videos, take a second to look up Bryson getting his ass kicked by
a rope. Yep,
a rope,
and him acting like it took his eyebrows off.
Totally worth watching it.
Yeah, and the fact that they caught his commentary with it is the second best part.
Beautiful. So,
such a great point.
So task 1, subscribe to our videos. Task 2, Bryson getting his ass kicked by a rope.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. Great recommendation as always. All right, everyone. We appreciate you. Thank you as always for listening, for watching, however you interact with us. We appreciate it. Thanks for, just sticking with us. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for, hey, if you're on a podcast platform, rate us. Give us some, whatever stars you think. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a follow. All that stuff really helps the podcast get noticed by other people. It gets recommended to other people. So we really appreciate everyone's support. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Absolutely. Swing hard, everybody.
Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.